Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 228. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strez. Welcome back, SLAC fam.
Back in the building, back again. And another Tuesday in Sports, episode 228. And lots to talk about for sure. We're going to get ready for the NFL playoffs. And we're also going to put a bow on the college football season as it was. And look forward to it next year, a little bit on that. And then we got a couple of NBA stars to discuss, some returning, some going back out. So you know how it is. But before we do, we always like to check in, and we appreciate your comments along the show. We got Kelly in the building. Happy Tuesday.
Moms.
We also got Moms. Good evening. So thank you for being here with us. We got Pops in the building.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening. And Aunt, yo. So that's what's up. Strizzy, it's January 9th already, man. How you feeling? What's good with you real quick before we dive into our topics?
You know what it is, I'm saying? New Year, same me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's good, you know what I mean? And tomorrow we'll be in December again, so you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Days go by slow, but the months go by super fast, man. But you know what I'm saying? Just blessed to still be here, you know what I'm saying? That's all. Can't complain about anything. How about you?
Yeah. For sure, same. Got through a tough week last week, but everything is good. New things to look forward to, and definitely excited to be back with the SLAC fam as always. So yeah, everything is good, man. No complaints over here either. We hope our SLAC family is good as well. But let's go ahead and pull these graphics up right quick. Let me see if I can share it, and then we will hop into our first topic. All right, let's get it. What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tune to NFL Talk.
Let's get it.
All right, NFL Talk. We're going straight to the scoreboard, and this is the final week of the NFL. We've put a bow on it, so we'll definitely be doing a little playoff preview here in a little bit, but I definitely wanted to give us a chance to touch on a few games, especially those that had a playoff-type atmosphere. Texans-Colts was a good one on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I was definitely rooting for C.J. Stroud and the Texans to come through on that one. But who knew that it would end up being for the division with that big Titans-Jags game, and the Titans kind of coming through on that one. And Strizzy, you called it again.
Yeah, dude, they've been so bad this year. It's weird to see how good they finished the season last year, that comeback in the playoffs, and just all year, man, they've just been losing games they should win. It just felt like upset town, you know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with the Texans, though, man. That's gonna be a fun team to watch, and CJ doing that without his best receiver, So even though Nico had a huge game, you know what I'm saying, but Tate and Dale's still out. But for them, the season's already a success. You know what I'm saying? Whether they lose this upcoming week, which I think they will, but I'm still rooting for them. But I don't know, man. They got a tough road ahead of them.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Anthony Weston says the Jags fell apart, and I do want to welcome Joan to the show. Hey, Joan,
Hey.
How's it going? Joan, you were my hero last week. So good to see you, and thank you for joining the show. Appreciate you checking us out. So that's what's up. Let's see, a couple other things we wanted to get into. I mean, for me, for sure, the Cowboys handling business against the Commanders, but what was happening on the other end, the Giants, beating down the Eagles 27-10. The Eagles are looking really shaky, and it's crazy to see them had start the year at 10-1, and then lost. I think it was 5 of their last 6 games. So that's another one though that you were kind of. I think on Secure the Bag you called that one and the Jags out.
Yeah, the only reason I was iffy about the Eagles possibly losing to the Giants is for seeding and who they were going to play. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to make excuses for the Eagles because they've looked really bad these last 6-7 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But I think better for them, I think, to play who they're playing than instead of the Rams. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they wanted Rams the first week, and if they would have won, that's who they would have played. So, not saying they threw the game because they still haven't looked good, but sometimes coaching that plays a role in it. Who would you rather play? when you kind of already know some information. So we'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. That could be some of that it just really wasn't important to them at the end. But I'm kind of with Kelly. She says I'm so surprised by the Eagles. I just was thinking like they'll want to win a game and just look decent going into the playoffs. But
Facts.
you know,
At the end of the day, like I said, like who would you rather play? But for them, I think their team just needed a dub. You know what I'm saying? Like
confidence.
It's crazy.
For sure. Anthony Weston says Philly and Miami head in the wrong direction. That Miami Buffalo game was pretty interesting, but they just couldn't get it done in the end. They even had a lead early in that game, but Buffalo, like we talked about, it was just kind of destiny that they were going to come back and get that division title despite their kind of mid-season struggles. So they went and snatched that, but the Dolphins in the playoff either way. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do, how they kind of bounce back from that loss. I think, I did want to mention this, though. The Saints-Falcons, at the end of that game, the Saints beat down the Falcons, and they were still, staying alive for playoff contention. So totally fair, right? But at the end of the game, the coach did call for them to kneel down, and they changed the play because I guess it was Jamal Williams, and then there was another, I think it was Graham as well. Neither of them had scored a touchdown all year.
Yeah.
So they were near the goal line, and they had the chance to run out the score, but they were like, you know what? Let's get our bro a touchdown. I think Jamal Williams had 18 touchdowns last year, had 0 entering the game this year. So they gave him, they had to fall off. The Falcons coach was upset, but I think it's cool. Like, I mean, the players got to do what they got to do.
Dog, he was getting fired regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, I get it, but I get why he was upset, but that's not what the coach called. Saying, Jameis Winston, J-Bo, he took the responsibility for it. He said, coach called, victory formation, kneel it. And they decided as a group, as a team, that, they were going to get their guy, at least one. He led the league in touchdowns last year and then decided to leave Detroit to go to New Orleans. And, and honestly, they didn't utilize him well. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when Alvin Kamara was out, they still didn't really utilize him well. You know what I'm saying? So, I know in the back of his mind, he's such a great a locker room guy, but you know what bothered him? You know what I mean? You can't go from leading the league in touchdowns the year prior and not even having not one touchdown the next year, like and be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
At the end of the day, like they got smacked, bro. Like I was arguing with some dude online. Like if you want to stop your team from being blown out, then stop your team from being blown out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like stop them from scoring. They don't have to kneel down.
Exactly. They got a huge interception right on the 1 yard line. You know what I mean? And I get it from a coaching standpoint. That's something you don't do, but they decided to go against him and do it anyway. So Falcons coach, like you horrible all year, dog. Like you didn't get London involved, you didn't get Pitts involved, you didn't get your not number one pick, but your number one first round pick involved. Like from the offensive side of the ball, like you had such a disappointing season and you got let go because of it. So I think just his frustrations in general got the best of him. I think it was way more about his failure of a year than it was victory formation and them scoring on the 1 yard line.
Right. That was just something to kind of vent out on.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you on that one. Want to welcome Grace to the show. Grace, thanks for popping in. We appreciate you. I know your Cardinals didn't have the season that you wanted them to, but next year always is another year. Let's see. Anthony Weston says that's how I feel. If these are pros, stop them, and that's true. It's like you can't expect somebody to take it easy on you or give up.
Man, the way I look at it is like this too, dude. Like if I'm at the park with somebody and we're playing, 1-on-1 to 21, if I'm skunking you out and I got 13 to your 2, I'm not gonna ease up so you to catch up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to win, bro. Like, I'll end the game 15-0. Like, I don't care, dog. Like,
by any means
over here.
Right. For sure. Oh, that's too funny. But no, speaking of sympathy points, so I think we'll move on from there. So we know the playoff matchups, and we'll get to those in a minute. But we did have to talk about some of the changes that have happened. On the far right, we have the coaches that were already fired midseason, but we have had a round of firing since then. So I definitely wanted to get your comments on how we felt about these. Arthur Smith, we just talked about him from the Falcons. He was going to get fired. Ron Rivera as well was fired, and then earlier today, Vrabel of the Tennessee Titans, who I think is a really good coach, but they made the decision to let him go. What did you think about the coaching carousel, the firings so far?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of movement going around. You know what I'm saying? I think we're still really, really kind of curious on what Bill Belichick's going to do. Yeah. I know for my Panthers, for one, they're literally asking to interview like everybody. Like they're going after all available head coaches, a bunch of different offensive coordinators that had a lot of success this past year. But the Vrabel one,
Dan Quinn too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dan Quinn as well, which is huge. You know what I'm saying? I think I love Dan Quinn as a head coach. Although I don't think he leaves, because I think if your boys don't get it done, I think McCarthy's out of here. You know what I'm saying? I think Dan Quinn wants that Cowboys job, but we'll see. But I was really surprised with the Vrabel firing, just because they don't have a lot of talent there. And they do on paper, but you know what I mean? Like D-Hop getting a little older, he didn't have the season that you would expect him to have. Right. Don't have very good quarterback play, and you obviously Derrick Henry did not have a good year this year or even last year. You know what I'm saying? So
true.
I don't know what they expect. And Coach Pops is always talking about the good coaches, saying, and quarterbacks don't grow on trees and stuff. So that one was a little surprising to me, just because I'm not sure who they go out and get better than him at Tennessee, right?
Right.
With all the other jobs that are going up, I can't see Bill Belichick wanting to go to Tennessee when he can go after the LA job. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's probably the one he goes after most. But I don't know, man. So we'll kind of see what happens. But always got a special place in my heart for Ron. So see where he goes. I like to see him as Ron. Yeah, I like to see him as a DC. You know what I'm saying? More so than a head coach. But we'll see, man. I'm interested to see where all these guys are going to go. Just keep the good ones out of the NFC South. You know what I'm
saying? Right, for sure. No, yeah, I'm interested too. I think Vrabel I think he'll be a hot commodity for some of these other teams too, for them to go and grab. I wonder if the Raiders will give Pierce a true shot, or will one of these other, hot prospects go over there. Interested to see what happens to Eric Bieniemy as a result of all this. Did he do well enough in Washington to prove that he's ready, for a head coaching job? I don't know. But yeah, I think we should kind of reevaluate it in a couple weeks too, just depending on how things go through the playoffs and see maybe when we come back and do a ranking of best job, coming into location, the current roster, where would who would you be most interested in coaching? If you had the chance of the 6 teams that are open right now, that would be kind of a fun thing to do.
No, for sure.
I think
depending on what happens, I see Vrabel in New England. You know what I'm saying?
True, because he did go there. He was there before.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. What if even Bill Belichick was like, let me just step upstairs, and we can bring Vrabel back?
True.
I don't know, because the way that Bill Belichick was talking, and obviously I didn't have him on this slide, but there's a lot of speculation about him being done. But he did say kind of in his post-year interviews that he was kind of open to change, but he was still, heavily invested in the Patriots. So we'll see. Anthony Weston says some media members are putting Andy on retirement watch. Man, he's just a coach through and through. I don't know, but maybe if they won it again, and after everything they went through this year, he'd be like, all right, let me sail off. How can you top that?
Yeah.
Anthony Weston though says if Andy were to retire, the Chiefs job has to be ranked number 1. It would be ranked high up there, definitely with Patrick Mahomes. But I don't know. It would be interesting to see where that would rank. It's kind of an interesting division too. But the other person that's not on retirement watch, Pete Carroll, he did come out and say, he's ready to go. He's not tired. He's not, he's not ready to retire. He's not burnt out or anything like that. He's ready to rock.
He's in great shape.
Yeah, and I think he's 72.
Yeah, dude, he's up there, bro.
But he's doing his thing. So much respect to Pete Carroll.
Yeah, he still runs out some of his boys. He's a great coach.
Yeah, for sure. So we will see where some of these people end up. But for now, they're getting at Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? You out of here. You fired. All right. Next up, I did want to look at these playoff matchups. We have the number 1 seeds on the top, of course, that have a bye week this week. And then, the different games that are going on this weekend. and all on the road to the next Super Bowl. I think it's whatever that Super Bowl 63. I don't know how to do Roman numerals, but out there in Vegas, which I think that the logo looks pretty dope. I think Vegas is going to be pretty cool for the Super Bowl weekend.
For sure.
Like
So much we can do, man. That's crazy.
We're so close. Like I kind of want to go out there, but obviously, like to go out there just to be overcharged for a bunch of for just to be in traffic and be around a bunch of people. Like I don't know if it'd be worth it, but
Oh
you
man,
know,
I feel like it'd be one of the things where, like, you just go and just hang out outside. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like everything's gonna be so inflated, even more than what it already is. It's crazy.
yeah,
But it will
yeah,
be
for
fun.
sure.
It will be a good time though.
Most definitely. So we'll see who's there. We'll be watching along closely, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to be an interesting playoffs because I think there are some upsets hidden out there. I just am not sure where they are, especially this first weekend. But you know, Dallas Green Bay does have a lot of storylines with Mike McCarthy, even though he's not really buying into that too much. But
Yeah.
the Rams and the Lions, there's storylines there with Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford. So. But I don't know. How are you feeling in general about this first wild card weekend, and what game are you looking forward to most?
I'd say the game I'm probably looking forward to most is probably Rams in Detroit, just in terms of just like, offensive output, the coaches, you know what I mean? I think that's gonna be a really good one. Miami KC has potential to be good, but it's so cold. Dude, I looked at their weather report. Ain't nothing gonna be nice about that one, dog. Like it's crazy. So I feel like, Miami, I think they're gonna struggle in this game. You know what I mean? Like if they're not running the ball really well, like they're in trouble. You know what I mean? Just from a weather standpoint. But like almost
0 degrees. That's crazy.
yeah, but I feel like almost all of these, like the majority of these games, it almost seems like obviously the favorite team is not going to win every game. There's going to be some upsets. There's just no way there's not.
There always is, yeah.
Yeah, but Houston could definitely get by. I feel like Cleveland's going to get them. You know what I mean? Like I said, Houston so happy they got this far. Like this is a monster. They won 3 games last year or something like that. Like they should not have been this good, dog. Like. And sure enough, they have. But Cleveland's been playing well. Look at that defense. I think Philly somehow edges Tampa Bay. I think Detroit wants Dallas so bad. So I think they beat the Rams. No way Dallas loses to Green Bay. Yeah, right. I know. I don't think Pitt could upset Buffalo. You know what's crazy, man? Like Josh Allen is so good, bro. If that dude could just stop turning the ball over, man. Like if that dude stops, like there are very few quarterbacks who can turn the ball over 2, 3, 4 times in a game and still come back to win or just be in it to the very last second. You know what I mean? Like you can't, dude, stop turning the ball over. You'll be great. You know what I'm saying? But because of his turnovers, Pittsburgh could win that game. You know what I mean? And I think KC wins this one, and I think Cleveland wins this one. So I don't know. We'll see how many I'm wrong about, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, it should definitely be interesting. I do want to welcome Unc to the show. Hello, Unc, and also I want to add a third member beaming in from the road. I think our brother's here. What's good, Marcus?
What's up, people? Sorry I'm late, man. Again, I'm on my road.
No, you're all good. Thanks for checking in. We were just talking about the playoff weekend and if you think there'd be any upsets this initial weekend.
Maybe it's 2 upsets, I think. No, I'll say 3 upsets can probably happen. Buccaneers could beat the Eagles. Pittsburgh can beat the Buffalo, and I think Houston can beat the Browns. I think other than that, I don't think there will be no other upsets that are going to happen. But I don't know. Is it an upset that the Rams going to beat the Lions?
That would be kind of an upset by the seeding, but I don't know because that's a close matchup to me.
Yeah, it's a very close matchup.
Yeah, I don't think it's an upset. I think LA, I'm happy we ain't played on first round. I say anybody who plays on first round is going to lose. So I got the round beating Detroit. So that's about it. I think everything else should happen like it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I think if the Rams made it through, that would be crazy. And they would potentially play the 49ers who they just beat last week. So that would be pretty crazy.
No, they're supposed to play us.
No, I think they would play – well, because the 49ers will play the lowest seed remaining. So,
okay.
So it could be them depending on how it goes.
Gotcha.
I think I'm with you on the Pittsburgh-Buffalo, though. if Pittsburgh's offense, gets a couple big plays, a couple big touchdowns, long ones, their defense
But
could keep them in the game.
yeah, but the only thing with that is T.J. Watt's not going to play, so I think Josh Allen going to be looking at chop. I think he's going to be running the ball like crazy because it's going to be snowing and stuff like that. So that's the
Yeah.
only reason I get him the edge. I think he's going to be able to run the ball a lot, and Patrick Peterson ain't going to do nothing with Stephon Diggs in that slot. So I think they'll pull it out.
Yeah. No, that does suck. T.J. Watt hurt in the last game, so he will be out for this game.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's a tough loss. He did lead the league in sacks this year too.
Yeah, it sucks too because like they needed that game to get in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't sit him, you can't rest him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure. He had to be out there. So that is an interesting one. That Philly Tampa Bay, I do think that's another one where I don't know. I think Tampa Bay could get Philly just because they've been playing so bad, and Tampa Bay will be at home
for sure.
But they got to do a little bit better than they did against the Panthers last week. That's the only thing.
Facts.
We won't get that lucky though.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Dallas Green Bay, Marcus?
I think I'm pretty solid on it. It's not going to be an easy game like everybody's saying it is though. I think it's on. They have a great defense, and I think they have a great cornerback too. So I think they're going to triple team City the whole game, and they're going to make Brandon Cook and Toby, those guys, and Gallup beat us. So because we don't, I'm sorry to say it, but we don't have a running game. To really depend on. If Tony Pollard get loose, then we'd be happy. But we can't put all our we can't put out. Oh yeah, we got a run. We don't have no run game.
Yeah,
lead with the pass.
Yeah. So I think they know that. I think I said you stop City Lamb. You let everybody. I think you give a handshake if everybody else beat us. But their offense, I'm not scared of their offense. I think our defense would do good. Put a lot of pressure on Love. But I just don't. I wish we had a good running game. I could kind of be up. But I think we should win at home. I think we should be good. But I don't think it's gonna be easy as people say. You got a cakewalk. I don't think it will be. I think they have a good defense, and we got to come to play and don't be. Mike McCarthy got to call some great calls, man. You can't be getting conservative. You know what I'm saying? When things don't go your way, because when we play a team, we supposed to beat, and it's not going as we thought. He start getting scared. You know what I'm saying? So we can't do that. Keep the game playing like it is, and give it a chance to get there. So hopefully it's like that. Like I say, I'm not going in thinking this is a cakewalk. So I respect them, and we got to go in there, and we should beat them. But so hopefully we go with that. But I'm not gonna think negative, dog. I'm saying we're gonna win. So
I'm with you though. I do.
I like it.
Yeah, exactly. That was great analysis right there. Broke it all down, and I feel the same way. It won't be a cakewalk, but we have the pieces we need to win, and this will be good. This will be a good warm up for whatever lies ahead. So I'm excited with that. Anthony West says, "Why didn't the Cowboys try to sign Cook?" I think he was made up that he was going to go to Baltimore. It was closer by, and they needed that running back a little bit more desperately. But I'm interested to see how he'll play, man, because the Jets basically just sat him down, towards the end of the season. So, but I think he chose the Ravens. I think it was that's where he wanted to go. But we'll see if he's a factor for them.
I just wish when we had that opportunity to get Derrick Henry, I think we went Super Bowl with Derrick Henry for sure. But we didn't do it. So you know how that goes.
I know, and I still wonder how real that was. But at the trade deadline when they talked about that, I was like, dang, that would be crazy. Like the ultimate 1-2 punch if you had him and Pollard. That would be just take things to a different level. But we'll see.
I know off topic right now, but man, I don't know you agree with me or your dad possibly agree with me, but I kind of really miss right now having Zeke, man. I think having Zeke there, I think I will feel more confident. Just having that. Not everything on Tony Pollard, having Zeke there with those hard downs, goal line. I know for sure he's not getting that end zone. So it just during the playoffs right now, we can really use Zeke, man. I hate that we don't have him right now. So it's just dang.
What I would say is for sure, I can understand where you're coming from. I think we have somebody that could potentially be that in Dotto, but I feel disappointed that throughout the season they haven't given him the chance to be that. Because if you would have given him more carries through the year, we would feel comfortable with him being that guy going into the playoffs, but we just didn't see it enough. But Dotto could be that. They just don't split the carries enough. I don't get why you have two running backs. Just get him in there,
Yeah, and the other thing is, if you're not going to use Dotto like you used to, because you was using the rookie, because the rookie not even getting no. You know what I'm saying? Give him a little time. I just feel like if he was in LA with the Rams or with Eagles, they using him. You know what I'm saying? They using him for different things like they did Darren Sproles. and we not even like we didn't even try. Like
Not even trying.
let him show that he can't do it. Let us as fans be like, oh man, he ain't ready. Give him a little more time. But man, it's like he didn't even get a shot. I just think we could use him like a special team or something, and we're not doing it. So maybe they know something we don't know, but it's just like weird though. Like
No,
we're
I
using Todd
agree.
Pollard by himself, like he's an all pro running back, and he's not like that. I love him. You know what I'm saying? But the way we using him, it's like
He needs that. He
weird.
needs that switch up. Yeah. Pop says Dallas runs the ball enough to win, and running game has been ramping up. Zeke is a bum that betrayed us. Rico is becoming that guy, and I mean, I
don't know. We say I know how Pops is, but I don't agree with the he portrayed it. I think if you talk to Zeke, I think you said he wanted to stay. I don't think he wanted to leave. I think he had to, even though maybe the money thing could have been switched up a little bit. But I
well,
wouldn't say
yeah.
he betrayed us.
Pops is saying like
I
he
don't agree
betrayed
with
us
that.
when he held out, like in Cabo, like before all that. It's like when the relationship, I guess, was soured there more. But
Nah, I
I
don't agree
mean,
with that.
but no, Zeke did have a great year with the Patriots. Like he did solid. But I do think that if Rico would have been given more carries, maybe we feel more comfortable with him. And Stephanie Washington joining the show was good, Stephanie. And that's more Cowboys love and Cowboys power for the show right now. So we're all good. um, but I feel where you're coming from for sure. And if we would have that second proven back, it'd feel better. But I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right there. Anthony Weston did say, do you think Miami will upset KC? I just don't really see it. I don't think that they have the playoff part. And Kansas City handled them before this year pretty well. So I don't know though. The defense is just going to be the difference for Kansas City. But Marcus, what do you think about that? Or excuse me, my bad.
No, I'll just agree with you. I don't think they can do it. I think the weather's going to be bothering them for sure. And Miami just doesn't play well against teams over 500, whether they're at home or away. You know what I'm saying? And KC's defense, is even better than Buffalo's defense. And I don't know. I think Tua's going to have a hard time, especially in that cold.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it.
Marcus, kind of swore that sticks to the skin. You know what I'm
saying? For sure. All right. Well, we'll be making on Thursday our official playoff predictions on Secure the Bag. Or actually, well, maybe we'll do it Thursday or Friday or Saturday. We'll see. But sometime before the kickoff of the playoff games for sure. So you'll have to check that out. But we do want to give shout out to Mom Knows Best. Moms won this week, 12-4. So great job on that one, Moms. And we were actually tied for the tie, but she won on the tiebreaker, man. So I was close, but no cigar. But we will continue the competition through the playoffs, so you can go on Yahoo and continue to make your picks. And I think we're talking about Strizzy Secure the Bag, maybe just making all the picks against the spread, right?
Yeah. Make it a little more difficult.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. We'll see what happens with that. But the last thing I wanted to touch on real quick on NFL is we do have our crystal ball here. And I know some of these things haven't been decided yet, so I just wanted this to be a little preview. But we are going to look at our crystal ball again very soon and see some of these different – we had MVP predictions on here. We had Super Bowl matchups. We had Offensive Rookie of the Year, all kinds of stuff like that. So that's just a little teaser, but we will be looking back on that real soon to see if we got anything right. So get ready. But for that, we'll go ahead and jump into our next topic. All right, NBA talk. So a couple of superstars that I wanted to talk about real quick for today's topics. Draymond Green returning soon, and mentioned recently on his podcast about how he was talking to Adam Silver about wanting to retire, and Adam Silver kind of talked him out of it and didn't want to let him make a rash decision. But what did you guys think about Draymond's comments on retirement, and then also about him coming back?
He should have retired. I think he's done. I don't really like this Draymond. I like the Draymond that was a defensive player, hit three when you needed three, a leader. But seeing what he's been doing lately, man, it's like that's not good for the NBA, And he's just talking crazy a little bit on this podcast, and he's trying to stay relevant. I think if he wasn't trying to stay relevant and just be Draymond, like I think people will love him more. You know what I'm saying? But he's missing his legacy up to me, what he's doing right now. I know everybody could be a bad guy, like Dennis Rodman was that bad guy. But he's known, he's a Hall of Famer. He's known who he was. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't slapping nobody like somebody was hitting him, you know? It wasn't like just hitting people in the balls and kicking people. Like it's something you choking somebody and stuff like that. It just come on, man. You doing a little too much how it going, how things are going. And I understand he might have fit in back in the 80s, early 90s with that kind of stuff because that's what they did back then, but they're not doing that now, you know. And you don't have to do that now. Like you can be yourself. Even how you was talking about Stephen A. said how you was talking about, yeah, he hurt me because he told Stephen said Steph Curry's not it's not like he's a bad leader. He didn't say that. He said he's not an active, he's not a vocal leader. There's a difference, you know what I'm saying? So he just trying to stay relevant. I don't know why. I think what he's trying to do is he gonna put himself out of the league. And I think him saying he want to retire because he know he don't have it anymore. So we're gonna see when he come back, we're gonna see more tactics he's gonna be doing because he's not gonna get better. He's not gonna get better. I think he's done. So the system he was in is over with. Cause Clay is not Clay like he used to be. Steph is trying to stay afloat a little bit too, but those guys are not there no more. That team is gone. Livingston is gone. Iguodala is gone. So the team that he had is gone, and it showed. We always said, I know Street said too, he was in a perfect system. That system is gone now. So it's showing, it's exposing him. So now he has to do other things to make himself irrelevant more. It's not going to happen. So I think, like I said, I don't hate him as a person, but it's time to retire, give it up anyway. So that's how I feel about the whole thing.
Yeah, man, it's funny. Like I literally agree with everything what Marcus said, and all talk about Draymond and elaborate a little more on the Warriors themselves. Like, number one, I feel like he only missed 12 games. I feel like it's not long enough. You know what I mean? Like I get that it was a indefinite suspension. He needed to go through some counseling things, which I never really felt that the counseling thing was. You know what I mean? Like Draymond's Draymond. He don't need counseling. That's just who Draymond is. You know what I'm saying? Like Marcus was saying, like he just started doing too much. Like the chokehold was way too long and unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like he just started doing too much. He just, like Marcus said, I think he was just trying to do something to stay relevant because his play is falling off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? Like the system isn't even where it was. It's not where it was today as it was even 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And Clay's not playing the way we've seen Clay play on the offense or defensive side of the ball. Andrew Wiggins is literally having problems trying to figure out how he still fits with Clay being back full time. The fans are calling to give Kuminga more minutes when it's like he doesn't necessarily really need more minutes. And honestly, a lot of I'd say opinions that I respect are saying that they think it's time for even Kerr to step away, and I'd agree. I think if the situation that the Warriors is not absolutely perfect, the Warriors aren't very good. And I think Kerr just doesn't know what to do. Steph is doing everything he can, but like it ain't working. Even you can even say Steph's in a slump right now. Like the Warriors just don't look like the Golden State Warriors that we're used to seeing with Steph, Clay, and Dre. You know what I'm saying? So and like Marcus was saying, like he ain't gonna get no better. Like he's not gonna come back from having 12 games off and all of a sudden just start. All the Warriors' problems are all fixed. You know what I mean?
Right.
Regardless of what they do, Kerr's definitely not going to be, let go or decide to leave middle of the season. Like, no way that something like that would happen unless it's at the end of the season. But, I was laughing the other day at one of my boys. I was like, is there a prop where I can vote or like bet on the Warriors just not making the playoffs at all? Because I don't think they're going to make it. I don't think they're going to make it.
I mean, I think there is a prop on that, probably.
Yeah.
You got him, but you think not even the play-in, right? Like out of
the I think they don't make it. They're not playing well at home. They haven't been a very good away team in the last like 2-3 years anyway. I don't think they make it.
They're a semi like the Kansas City Chiefs. Not quite. Kansas City's a little better right now as a team.
Yeah.
You could never really count them out. You just because I always say after All-Star break, so that's a couple of weeks coming up, I will see where they at. But you can never count them jokers out, man. I never count them out. Like you say, at least a player, they might make the play in. Yeah. But I just never could count them out, man. You just never know because when you get hot, you hot. You know what I'm saying? Because the shooters, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have, depending on defense and other stuff. When you shoot, that shoot never goes away. You just got to get in that rhythm going, So that can help them out a little bit. But Other than that, that's all. I can't cut him out yet. I just can't yet. Not yet.
Yeah. Kerr has a lot to fix. Like the rotate like not just looking at the box score and not just looking at their actual record. Like the Warriors look lost, dog. Like if you watch them rotation wise, like they look really bad. They look like a veteran team trying to figure it out. And I just feel like they just shouldn't be trying to figure it out. They don't have enough new pieces. But the majority of the team they have right now were there last year too.
Right. So like, what changed?
Exactly. So I think Kerr's struggling. Like he's still trying to figure it out. Like what can I do? What can I change? So he's moving the starting lineups around. Andrew Wiggins is back in the coming off the bench. Saying Chris Paul's out for the next 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. Like it's rough. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm with you, Marcus. Like I get it. Like sometimes things do start to click, or you figure things out after the All-Star break when you start getting serious. But the West is just so deep. Like from 1 to 10. That's why I just, if they can't figure it out soon, like they won't make the play-in. They won't make the play-in because it's too deep in the West.
Yeah, we'll see definitely what happens with them, but I kind of agree as far as like they're just trying to hold on to like what they were a few years back, and it's just not the same. Like it's just not it don't work like that anymore. Yeah. Anthony West is saying Draymond was kind of playing the victim, and I agree with that. But I and I love Marcus, what you said when you first started with like he should have retired. Like I think it's like you might as well. And I just feel like too, I don't know, I hope this doesn't happen, but I still feel like maybe there's another incident this year. Like if Draymond plays the rest of the year, like if something else were to happen, and then at that point, what do you do? Because as there was mentioned, like 12 games is kind of not enough. And I agree, like it was weird because like I was just like, wait, he's already back with the team. I was like, oh, that was kind of quick. That was like a couple it was like maybe like 3 weeks or something. I was like, oh, he just had like an extended like holiday vacation kind of thing. Like it wasn't even like too long. So I don't know. I was just kind of intrigued by that too. I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna change or if he's gonna do the same thing. But moving on to our other guy over here though, John Morant though, just a bad situation for him. After barely coming back, he was able to play in 9 games and then actually injured his shoulder in practice, and he's gonna have to be out for the rest of the season. He requires surgery, so that's a big blow for Memphis, who is just starting to look a little bit better with him coming back. But they're another team that's kind of deep in the West now.
I got one question. This picture you have right here, where he's smiling with the sling on, was this before he knew he was out for the season, or this is after he knew?
I think this is before he knew. I think this because I think he injured it in practice, like before a game when they were on the road, and then this was like during that game he sat out, and then the next day I think is when they figured out that he is actually have to have surgery.
Yeah. I just y'all know how I am, man. I might stretch it a little bit. I really feel like something else happened, and this is the best way they didn't want to like take him off for the season like the other way. I think it's more to it, man. Yeah. I don't see him being out there for a show. We have never heard, and this is before All-Star break, we have never heard a guy be out the whole year for a shoulder tear. Well, I haven't personally. I don't remember. I just think it's more to it, and I think Ja might have messed his career up. I think this is going to be – I just think he's not – I don't know, man. I think he's going to be this kind of person, injury thing or whatever's going to happen. I think he had a high ceiling. I think he's going to be like another Derrick Rose. They could have been, He did enough. I think it's on end quicker than Derrick Rose did. I think Derrick Rose played a little longer before he got his thing happen to him. But I think it's more to it, man. So that's just my opinion.
You could be right. It is kind of strange that it was like off the court thing. It did kind of seem to come out of nowhere, but I don't know. But either way, this season is lost for him basically between what happened last summer and then this injury now. So maybe it is luck thing, but I hope he doesn't mess up his career, man. I hope it's not. I hope he can get it back on track. But this is a tough blow, I think. Strizzy, what do you think?
Yeah. It was kind of weird. It really did come out of left field. You know what I mean? Like, I get, you're playing basketball, playing a sport, like anything can happen at practice, but I just feel like you're $200 million man. Like, coach got to be like, no, you got to slow it down a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know Ja plays with a lot of tenacity and stuff like that, but I'm with Marcus. I mean, like, torn labrum, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit of rest, like he might be able to play through that. But I'm looking at their record. Their record is not great. They definitely look. They're definitely looking better. But kind of the same thing with the Warriors. Like the West is so deep right now. I mean, right now I think the Warriors are in 12th place, something like that. They're like 2 spots out of the play-in right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. It doesn't make sense for him to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like so, maybe that's why they're kicking him out. Like let's just call it a year for you. That is a little weird.
Maybe. Pop says TMZ would have had the scoop if he did something.
TMZ would have had the scoop.
Maybe they had a scoop. Maybe happened in the game. We didn't see what happened. That's all I'm saying. Like we didn't see him get hurt. It said it happened in practice, and just like I said, I could be. Like I said when I first started, I could be stretching a little bit, but something he's too young, dog. He's too young. Like Steph Curry, Clay, yeah, they've been doing this a long time. He's too young for this stuff. You know, when we're that age, we gonna break our leg and be back to a couple of weeks, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I can say I hope he's okay. I like him as a player, and I hope this next year he come back and he's good. I hope he's like that.
Yeah, for sure. Unk says, "What do y'all think about Zion? Like just in general, or his injuries back and forth, or?"
I think he's another one, man. I think that I don't know. They came in the same year. He's so good, though. He's so good.
He's just so like. First and foremost, too, I don't understand how Zion's got like some of the craziest shots we've seen. Like he is a horrible rebounder, dog. Like he is a horrendous. Ain't no reason for you to be this big and that got them kind of bunnies, and you're just like the Rousing guards way better rebounders than you. It's crazy. Like he just does not rebound the ball, and he's so off and on. Like he can go for 31 game and have 6 the next. Like dog, pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I feel like he needs to go back to being one of their focal points. You know what I'm saying? Like I just his usage is just so weird for me right now.
No,
like 2 years ago when they played the Suns in the playoffs, they were one player away from me to them going far. You know,
I feel you on that. I feel you on that.
He played that series. They had a great defender, 3-point shooter. They had a great backup point guard. They had McCollum and all. And then Bi, he's that guy. He's a superstar to me in the making. Yeah. And you was missing that one piece that you could have took you over the hump. And I think we forgot about him. I think, man. I don't know, man. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It is weird. He is inconsistent, but he can be so good and dominant. Like when the effort level's there and when things are flowing, like he does look so good. But I don't know, man. Like I do think he's and I don't know, like maybe this is like too much or whatever, but I do think that sometimes like when you're that dominant, when you're that young, you don't have to develop your skill set the same way. Kind of like Dwight Howard and certain things like Zion, like at Duke and in high school, like he was always bigger, faster, stronger than everybody he was going up against. Maybe that's why he never learned how to rebound with proper technique, and he just jumps up and like flails around and it always works out for him. But like those guys that don't have those like physical abilities, like they have to learn how to do it right. And like for him, like the further in you go, like those things catch up to you. You have to have that skill and that technique. And I don't know if like
that's true. Did you guys see the Give Arenas, how he was saying how he said Kobe was like a S300. But he worked so hard and he turned himself into a Bugatti.
Yeah,
like I think that's the thing. I think if he had that mentality like Kobe, man, just imagine how good he would be. Because you say Kobe didn't have all the speed. He didn't have all he didn't jump out of the gym. He can jump, but that wasn't his style when he got older in his career. But he was so demanding and so he worked so hard. You know what I'm saying? He was in the gym. He worked film. But these guys, I don't think they have that mentality. And if Zion had somebody on his team, like a vet on his team like that, maybe he can do it. But like you said, he don't have no. They all young and he's privileged. He's got paid,
And none of them are real vocal. McCollum's not vocal. Bi definitely not vocal. You know what I'm saying? Like Bi.
I really think. I think the main thing with Zion, I don't think he want to be in New Orleans. So I think if he go to another team, maybe he'll get there. I think he's doing it because he don't want to be there. I think that could be it.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Like once he gets in that situation that he wants to be in. Pop says Zion's such a beast scoring but doesn't rebound, but would take it for Embiid any day. Zion for Embiid for sure. Like Anthony Weston
Come
says in
on.
hindsight. What?
I'm like, come on, Pops. You don't take Zion and B. Come on, Pops. Come on now.
He's
I
done
know
with
you hate
Embiid.
the guy. I might not say that. I got it, Pops. Like, I'm just like, he's
I
an MVP, dog.
I do like this though. Then he said Embiid not playing enough or doing enough as usual. Who is he going to blame this time? Probably Harden again. Even though
Hey y'all,
he's
we
been
really
garbage.
have to make this happen, y'all. We got to do something to make them meet each other. I
Yeah,
just
we're
have to.
gonna
I
get
don't
the
know what I'm
interview
gonna
set
do.
up.
I'm
Something.
gonna talk to Perk. I'm gonna set something up when he comes to Phoenix, and we're gonna make this happen, dog. Maybe they're gonna
Yeah,
put them in the room for 5 minutes. They duke it out, come out hugging each other. But we gotta do it, man.
yeah, for
Come on,
sure.
Pops.
Get him on the squad. Get him on the team. Oh man, that's too funny. Pop says very few players in history have the mindset of Kobe, and then Anthony Weston says very few people have the mindset of Kobe, for sure. He was definitely different. Unc said Zion obviously likes the food. Come on, don't do him too dirty.
Zion's like he's such a happy guy too. Like personality wise, like I think he's a great dude. He's obviously a great basketball player too. But
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he wants to play. I honestly like if he has the chance to go to Toronto, like I think he wants to play with RJ bad. You know what I mean? Like I was like his best friend. Like
True.
I just see him wanting to go and play with like RJ really, really bad. Or even Cam Reddish, you know what I'm saying? Like wherever Cam Reddish is, if he don't want to go to Toronto and play. But I could just also same thing. I just see him wanting to be somewhere else.
Yeah, I feel it. All right, I think we'll move on to our last topic, and we're gonna wrap things up with the college football playoff championship last night. So my question is thoughts on the game, and also does this require an asterisk because of everything that happened, or is Harbaugh's time served enough?
Nah, you ain't get no asterisk, man. That
No,
man tough,
exactly.
man. Nah, man. Nah.
Exactly.
They
He
did their
won. They
thing.
should have beat him,
Yeah.
dog. They beat Alabama like that should have been. It happened. I just think this. You can't put no action, man. This dude been through. He been through the mud. I gotta tell people like Harbaugh been through the mud, man. Like he did his thing. I just think overall the game. I didn't know the game was on yesterday. Honestly, I got a halftime. I'm like, oh, they playing today. So the game to me was kind of boring. To me, honestly, it wasn't like that football game. But I'm saying, they won. You gotta give it to them. But no asterisks. I don't think so. Nah.
No, I agree. No asterisk as well. Those players deserve this win. Like they've been through the mud. They were, super close last year. Did it all this year. Head coach, suspended for a total of 6 games or 7 games. I think it was 4 at the beginning and then 3 towards the end. And at the end of the day, the players still have to play the game. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless of what I'm gonna say they did. You know what I mean? Like I know Harbaugh still talking about they're innocent. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like these dudes went up there and did it. And, they got through a really, really tough team with Bama. I'm like, honestly, man, if I give Saban, a month to prepare for anybody, he's that coach. You're like, you're not going to lose with a month of preparation, but they did. And I loved Washington getting there, but I never believed in them in this game. I was like Michigan all the way. I knew it wasn't going to be close. You know what I'm saying? I knew it wasn't going to be close, but you know what I'm saying? It's been since 97, their first titles in 97, 26 years, 27 years, something like that.
Yeah,
so happy for those guys, man. I'd like to see, Big Blue get another championship. It's been a long minute.
Yeah, and they are one of the staples. They are one of the staples of college football. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. I don't know how I feel about the asterisks or not. I feel like it is what it is. Kelly says definitely need an asterisk. Mom says yes, asterisks. Cheaters. Pops has a whole line of asterisks.
Only reason I would agree with the asterisk, I'm gonna say like I've been saying it all these weeks. Georgia should have played in that should have finished their title. So that's why they get an asterisk. Now I agree with y'all because they should have got a shot. I hate that they didn't get a shot. I hate that they didn't get a play. I wish we could do something they could play each other. Like Michigan should play Georgia offsite somewhere, so we can something like that. You know what I'm saying? That would be dope. But I think that should have been the game. I think Georgia win the game. They do a 3-peat. But I think the people didn't want to say do a 3-peat for some reason. I don't know why. But if that's the reason why we give them asterisks, then I agree with you. It's asterisk stuff.
Okay.
But if it ain't for that, then I don't give it to them.
Got you. Maybe that's why it's multiple asterisks. We'll have one for that, one for the other. But Huck says not much attention given the national championship game this year, and I feel like that the matchup was just a little bit different. I guess it wasn't the matchup that they were hoping for, and so I feel like I don't want to say that Washington wasn't like a big enough school, but it was like just not a big enough name. I feel like that they didn't get behind it the same way, and it was kind of not the same type of ceremony that it seems like it sometimes is. Kelly, by the end of the game, I felt so bad for Penix. They needed to pull him to prevent further injury. Like I did feel bad for him too. He was like, "I'm gonna finish this game," but man, he was holding his side so bad, and like he had been beat up. But it's almost like, and I hate to say this, but it's almost like he knew he had to take that punishment because he was off all night. Like he had to be, in order for Michigan, like for them to actually beat Michigan, he had to be on point. And like that was maybe his worst game of the season. Like honestly, like I've never seen him throw so many throws like inaccurate like that. And I know he was getting beat down, but it's like, man, I think that's why he's like, I can't go out. Like, I don't know. That was tough though.
Yeah, Michigan defense it's funny, with the defense has been really nasty these last couple of years. Like even when they played Ohio State, like they just put so much pressure on them boys, put so much pressure on Bama too. The defense, I think, really kind of I think that's the big reason why I knew that they were going to win this game. Washington's offense has been great, but they ain't seen the defense like this Michigan's defense.
Right, not at all. And just the kind of the physicality there. And then on the running game on the other side, like, dang, they were just matching up with Washington's line and they were just blocking one man on one man and the running back taking off. Like they were just creating big holes. So it was going to be it was going to be a tough task. Kelly says she agrees with Marcus of the whole FSU scandal and lawsuit. There will be lots of questions about this year. Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing is when people look back on this year, like you guys are saying, like it'll be talked about. There'll be storylines.
It might come back. I would say maybe in March we're gonna come out and be like, "Oh, we found something else," and they might take it like this. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna from March when they all come out.
People are talking about that if Harbaugh comes back, he might be facing some other things because they're still technically under NCAA investigation. I know. I was like,
just go out.
He's gonna go to the pros and
do what Pete Carroll did.
He has to. Don't come back, dog. Do not come
do what
back.
Pete Carroll did. You got it in and get out of there.
Yeah, that's very true though. Pete Carroll did that. He knew the sanctions were coming at USC, and he was like, "Peace." It worked out really well for him though. I mean, he did great. So, maybe it is time for Harbaugh to come back to the NFL ranks, but I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, I felt about this championship the same way I felt about the NCAA one last year, where it was a UConn versus I remember who they played. I was like, UConn's winning this game. Like it's not even gonna be close. Take them out the spread.
Yeah,
like they're gonna win by that many points or more. And they did that.
The cool thing is though, is like next year that 12-team playoff is going to be different.
Yeah,
so we'll get a chance to see things play out on the field a little bit more. So I am excited for that. Kelly says just not back to the Niners. You don't want to see him there. Mm-hmm. I think that they're good. Your team is good.
Yeah, I think Shanahan's got that locked up.
Locked up for a long time.
He ain't going nowhere. Yeah, he's going to be there for a minute. Come to the Cowboys, man. We lose to the Packers. Come to the Cowboys. I'm just playing.
You never know. I don't know. I can't believe they are talking about Mike McCarthy on the hot seat, but I don't see it. I don't know.
Bob said no cheaters. He ain't with it.
Anthony West says they need to give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. I think they should too.
Same.
It's time. It's time. Let him get the trophy back.
Yeah, they got you back.
But that's the we'll have to like look into it again during spring games and things like that. But that's a wrap on the college football season. I can't believe it's already come and gone. But yeah, it is kind of funny though. I do give Michigan credit because every step of the way it was like, well, they'll lose soon, and they won't beat Ohio State. Something, and they made it all the way through. So, congrats to them. They did it on the field. So, asterisk or not, they did their thing. I think that's it though for this week's topics. Oh, I did have one thing for the Dodgers though. It's another week, another former All-Star being signed. So their new projected lineup with Teoscar Hernandez in there too. So they're just looking like a squad. So I know Strizzy Unk was trying to correct you on some things, but I know you're going to be watching them closely this year.
Got to. Yeah. I mean, as far as you're looking at like just baseball and just, the rule changes and things that, the shot clock, if you will, makes it a little bit easier for batters to get comfortable and for pitchers to not. Like you can't look at this lineup and think they're not going to be a fun team to watch, regardless of what you feel about them. You know what I'm saying? And Pops made a really a comment some weeks back about like, you can put a great team together, but if you don't have the manager to do it, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
man, like this ain't basketball. If you can't win with this, you know what I'm saying? Like this ain't basketball or football. Like you can't win with this squad. On top of some of the pitchers you got too, like that's crazy.
Yeah, no, I think they'll be able to figure it out for sure. They got to make it happen this year.
Yeah, Rogers will mess it up. Yeah,
or Rogers.
I feel you, Pops. I feel you.
No, for sure. Oh yeah, Tiger leaving Nike. Anthony Weston brought this one up, and that's pretty crazy for me. Mom said that was a surprise, but I'm thinking this is like a bigger picture. Like Tiger and Phil Knight are so close, so I don't know what this means for Nike, but I think it means like maybe they're gonna stop making golf stuff, or maybe they're gonna like. Something's gonna. It's something bigger because there's no reason they would just make a change just to make a change. Like,
I think he goes by himself. I think he goes with TW and do his own thing, maybe. Or only thing else you can go to really is Under Armour, right?
Right, but
because you can't just leave Nike in this elite. Nike is the cream of the crop. So I don't care nobody say that's the best out there. So I just feel like he maybe do his own thing,
Right.
Like MJ did it, kind of did the same thing, a little bit. He didn't leave, but he kind of did his own thing. And maybe that's what he's going to do.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, he's supposed to golf next month in the Hero Classic, right? So for me, I'm like, watch him come out in Tiger Woods gear that's made by Nike, but they're just not going to make it for the public or something like that. Because I know Nike's going through some things where they're cutting back some of their product lines. So I'm like, maybe they just can't support Tiger the way he wants to. But there's no reason why they would ever just break up for no reason. So I think we're going to hear some more later. Anthony Weston says Skechers. Come on, dog. He said Skechers. He's getting older, you know what I'm saying? He said, is he going to and one? He got all the jokes tonight. But no, I think it's going to end up being like just his TW logo that Nike was making. You know what I'm saying? He'll just not have a swoosh on or something. Because he did end it with like, is there going to be a next chapter? Like, there will. Like, so I don't know. Alex said pony for sure. Like, you're going to show up in Lacoste. Like, there's no way. Like, they would never switch up. But he is in that Skechers demographic now, though. So we'll see. But good comments on that one. I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that one because I forgot about that. So good call out there. I think there's bigger things to come behind that, but we'll see. I don't see him showing up in something weird, or maybe it's gonna be FootJoy. But if he did, that means he's getting paid out crazy. Like there's no way. Like I don't know. But that's what's up. I think we'll leave it there though. We'll be back this weekend, and I'm thinking either Thursday or Saturday. Strizzy, we'll link up and figure that out. Yeah. But we'll be doing a secure the bag before for the wild card edition. And until then, you know what I'm saying, we will see you next week. But for now, it's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy.
Bob Marcus, peace out.
Peace.